So that was the Uvalde police chief presumably talking about what exactly they know at this time. Very short press conference. Of course, we hope to learn more as this story continues to unfold. Keep in mind, all of this happened at around 12:17 at Robb Elementary School this afternoon, so those details are still coming in. But right now, we are joined by former FBI agent Ross Rice. Thank you so much for being with us here on First and Four. We have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, unfortunately we do, Tia.
You know, we're seeing this time and time again in our country. Just talk about, from an FBI standpoint, being that you're a former agent, what they're doing on the ground right now to look into this mass shooting.
Well, first and foremost, they're going to be processing the crime scene, which I'm sure is quite extensive. They want to make sure that this guy, I'm assuming the shooter is a male, acted alone, what type of weapon or weapons were used, and they're going to trace those weapons back to see where they were purchased, how he obtained them. Long term, over the next few days and possibly weeks, they're going to be doing an extensive background investigation on this person, again, to make sure that he was acting alone, which my guess is will be the case. They're going to be talking to his family, co-workers, friends, neighbors. They're going to be looking at all social media platforms that he might have posted to. They're going to be doing his browser history from his computer. What type of websites was he going to? What might have influenced him to do this? The FBI has been analyzing active shooters, school shooters since Columbine back in the 90s. And every time it comes up with basically the same type of profile. And I'm sure we're going to have something pretty similar here. The question is, how are we going to prevent this from happening again? We're always talking about it. I was on with you folks last week talking about mass shootings. Fortunately, they didn't involve school. But we need to come up with a comprehensive program to try and deal with mental health issues, which obviously is at play here, and limit the availability of firearms to people that shouldn't have them.
Very interesting that you kind of talk about the suspect profile, because we have learned a tad bit about this suspect right now. We know that that suspect is dead. His name is Salvador Ramos. He's an 18-year-old from the Uvalde area. Let's just talk about that. You're talking about the fact that, you know, people don't care, you know, at this point about the motivation behind it when the suspect is dead, but they do want answers on how to solve all of this. Where do we go from here?
Well, figuring out what motivated this guy, again, I'm pretty confident that what they find out here over the next few days or weeks is going to fit with a typical profile. It's a national issue, Tia. It's not just the state of Texas. It's not just Illinois. There has to be a comprehensive program to deal with mental health issues, and as I said earlier, to limit the availability of firearms to people that shouldn't have them. And that's the tough question. I wish I had a solution right now, but unfortunately I don't.
You know, Ross, let's talk about that. You know, the reality is that when we see these mass shootings, we see just about every politician in that state, around our country, they come out and they say the exact same thing, that they want to solve and stop this from happening, but we keep seeing it happening with no real resolution. You know, when there's instances like this, what, in your opinion, do you think, you know, parents can do, children can do? They have to send their kids to school. What can they do to make sure at least there's some type of safety measure in place in case something like this unfolds in a school?
Well, it's unfortunate, Tia, but we see this in local schools here in the Chicago area, and I'm sure it's prevalent throughout the country. They do emergency drills now preparing for mass shootings, shelter in place, locking down the schools. From everything that's been reported so far, it sounds like the school district here did a very good job of notifying people that there was an active shooter. The police had a very good response. The timeline is still a little fuzzy on when it was first reported and when the threat was neutralized, but it seems like it was a matter of minutes, which shows that police and law enforcement are aware of this problem. The response plan to a school shooting, to a mass shooting, has changed dramatically since Columbine, and I think that helped prevent casualties. Again, we don't know how the threat was neutralized, whether it was by the police responding or the shooter committed suicide or a third party intervened. These are all questions that are going to have to be answered later, but responding to it in a prompt manner is good, but it's not good enough. And I don't think we're in a position where we can have armed guards at every school. There's just too many, and it's more than a law enforcement problem, Tia. It's a societal problem.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, just about anybody can get a gun now. We see it here in Chicago where children can get their hands on guns. I do want to point out the fact that Governor Greg Abbott out of Texas, he did come out and say that it is believed that the school shooter was disarmed as a result of responding officers, which you did kind of hint at there, talking about how this may have been stopped in the first place. But you're right, the school did respond rather quickly. They put every single campus on lockdown. And, you know, here we are again. Of course, Ross, we're going to continue to talk to you, hopefully throughout this 4 o'clock hour, to talk more about this particular school shooting. But here at home,